When you hear the name Penn State, what comes to mind?
When I hear Penn State, I initially think of how it's a large school with lots of school spirit. Definitely think of the We Are, because that was one of the highlights that I remember from my campus visit. Just like a sense of community and belonging.
I think of home, lived here for about 20 years now.
Probably a great school, great spirit, and just an overall amazing time.
I think of a school that's built around like a cult somewhat, like football and partying. I don't think a lot of people take the academic aspect of Penn State seriously.
Football, drinking, school pride. It's a big school. Alumni, alcohol.
Tradition.
Feeling a sense of belonging.
Football.
Partying.
I think of fencing.
I think of an institution with a lot of really great academic resources, but I also think of a school with a culture that promotes a lot of partying and a lot of social events.
Perhaps the recently trademarked term, Happy Valley.
Happy Valley means being able to get an education, explore my own wants and interests, and also kind of enjoy a social life here.
It's like a community and a family. We're all one here.
All the great people and memories that I've made.
Like, Penn State's huge, but we're all in one little area of Pennsylvania. We're all like one little happy family.
Think of the happiest place on earth. A news article that said that Happy Valley had the lowest divorce rate in the country.
Happy Valley means to me like a one big community, like of people happy and just sharing and helping each other out.
The whole community, the whole Penn State community and State College.
A place where the sun's always shining even if it's raining.
My temporary home away from home.
Happy Valley is a culture that people sort of never stop talking about after they graduate Penn State because it's something that they enjoy so much, but how much of that is drinking and that sort of culture.
Happy Valley to me is somewhere where no one knows you. It's so big that nothing really applies to you from your past.
Perhaps there are many Division I sports teams, specifically football. Perhaps there are 70 fraternities and sororities.
Penn State's Happy Valley culture is rooted in the tradition of intense drinking. The university has encountered many alcohol-related incidents in the last decade, including student deaths and sexual assaults. It is very unfortunate that atrocities like these keep occurring, and it begs the question, why hasn't Penn State attempted to eliminate football and Greek life, both of which are strongly associated with excessive student drinking? Many economists have studied the effects of football and Greek organizations, and it is clear that universities benefit from these activities. Therefore, we should truly be examining how reducing student binge drinking conflicts with the interests of Penn State as a corporation.
On February 2, 2017, Tim Piazza, who at the time was a sophomore at Penn State, was engaging in a pledge activity for the Beta Theta Pi fraternity. This rush event included large amounts of drinking in a relatively short period. His fellow fraternity members were encouraging of this dangerous drinking, which eventually crossed the line into hazing. After falling several times and sustaining head injuries during this event, Tim Piazza died later that morning. He had a measured BAC of .40. In 2018, upon legal action, Ryan Burke pleaded guilty to hazing. Ryan is the first member of Beta Theta Pi to do so. He admitted to forcefully supplying alcohol to the pledges every 10 minutes. This led to several of the pledges throwing up and blacking out. The entire fraternity is facing legal charges, not just for Piazza's death, but also for the alcohol violations and hazing. Beta Theta Pi was permanently suspended by both the university and their chapter following this event. Piazza's death caught Penn State and its Greek community flat-footed, leaving people asking the question, how did this happen? In the wake of Tim Piazza's death, the anti-hazing and Good Samaritan laws came into fruition for the Pennsylvania schools. This law requires Pennsylvania schools to have policies and reporting procedures in place to stop hazing and to inform students and parents of what is happening on campus. Within the year, Pennsylvania's medical amnesty laws were revised in order to become encouraging to people to call for help in the event of alcohol intoxication. More recently, on October 25th, a non-PSU student died in a house owned by members of a frat. The university did little in response. This is because the death was not of a PSU student, and it didn't make front-page news like Piazza's death did, thus not putting the university on a national hot seat for their lack of control. What is weird about this death is that it falls under similar situations to Piazza's. Both were under 21 and had consumed large amounts of alcohol with PSU students off campus. This begs the question, why do geographical boundaries limit universities' responsibilities? It is apparent that the university seems to only inspire action concerning its students' safety when facing media pressure and is ultimately complacent with the status quo that promotes unsafe behavior.
Kappa Delta Rho at Penn State was suspended for a year for what it was allegedly doing on a private Facebook page, including posting photos of nude women who did not know they had been photographed.
The Delta Tau Delta fraternity is now suspended. Last week, police found an unconscious student who had allegedly been drinking there.
Penn State is home to an abundance of Greek life. The 70 fraternities and 41 sororities recognized by the school are inclusive of 14% of the 40,000 student body population. During the week, Greek life emanates values of scholarship, community, and service. The weekends tell a different story. Penn State's fraternities have been consistently documented engaging in excessive drinking. Barring dramatic events, Penn State generally turns a blind eye on fraternity row because Greek life brings in a lot of money and generally positive publicity. During Thon alone, the top 10 largest fraternities donated more than $1.2 million. Most of this money is obtained through past fraternity members and via various fundraisers put on by these houses. Extending outside of Thon, the alcohol-fueled parties of Greek life create some of the best memories for their members, which encourages them to give back to the school later in life. According to a study done by Yale University in conjunction with Vox, across the board, Greek alum donated 3 times more on average than their non-Greek counterparts. Additionally, Greek alumni account for 67% of the alumni who donate.
Alumni donations are crucial for universities. They are a major source of funding and oftentimes serve as a reflection of the continued love and loyalty graduated students have to their alma mater. High alumni donations are correlated to university prestige and excellence, and universities continue to solicit donations from graduates as a means of maintaining their status and quality of service they provide to others. But what are some factors that increase alumni donations? What does Penn State do in order to get more money? Studies show that university donations received from Greek alumni make up roughly 75% of all money donated to universities in total. Additionally, schools with higher participation in fraternities and sororities have higher donations from alumni. Through joining a fraternity, students get to develop a special bond with their school. The bond is carried out past the years of graduation, as graduates continue to remember the happy times they've had and friends they've made, and in turn are more likely to donate. Without donations from former Greek life participants, universities would suffer serious blows in their funding. So is that why frats have continued to stick around, despite how controversial and dangerous they've been in the past? Is Penn State not suspending more fraternities because they want to ensure future alumni donations?
With these factors in mind, universities are generally resistant to infringe on the weekend culture of Greek life, in favor of the donations and generally positive publicity these organizations bring to campus.
Similar to Greek life at Penn State, football and tailgating welcome student binge drinking.
What is your favorite part of football weekends at Penn State?
Definitely the tailgate. It's exciting to get together with a bunch of people, get rowdy right before the game, and then get in there and see Penn State win.
Tailgating.
Getting together with my friends and family and seeing my favorite team play.
Just going over to a friend's apartment, just chilling out, watching the game, cheering them on.
The tailgates.
It's nice seeing lots of families walking around and stuff. Really changes how everything feels.
I think it's great that people come together to celebrate.
Tailgate food and chicken baskets.
Campus being empty and being able to go to the dining hall and the hub without being constantly crowded all the time.
I like how even though it's just a game for a couple hours, it's a whole day-long event, a whole day of spirit.
Football and tailgating are long-standing commonplaces ingrained in the Penn State civic. Football games encourage tailgating, and tailgating is an activity well known for excessive student drinking. Not only do students drink at tailgates, but Penn State alumni love to engage in this pastime as well. Tailgating can be likened to the practices from ancient Rome, where people enjoy the fall weather and abundance of the summer harvest with massive consumption and celebration before the arrival of winter. Now tailgating has evolved into parties with food grilling and drinking games. Since football and tailgating go hand in hand, would Penn State football still be as popular if tailgating was eliminated? We asked Penn State students if they would still attend the football games even if tailgating was banned.
No, I do not like football.
I mean, I'd still go. I still find some other way to enjoy myself before the game.
Personally, I would, but I do know that there's probably some people who their highlight is probably the tailgate.
Maybe. I guess I would still go, but it would be less fun.
Yeah,
I would. I've never actually really been tailgating before. I mostly just invite people over at a football party.
Yes, I would.
Yes, I would.
I do feel like it would be less fun to just stand around and watch the football without drinking.
Oh, absolutely.
If tailgating was banned, student binge drinking would indeed decrease significantly, but so would the morale of the Nittany Lions football team. The lack of support could hurt the performance of the football players, which would have several repercussions on the university. A study found that for NCAA Division I football teams, winning football games increases alumni athletic donations, enhances academic reputation, increases the number of applicants and in-state students, reduces acceptance rates, and raises average incoming SAT scores.
So what can we make of all this? Is there more Penn State should do regarding alcohol, or has it become a commonplace for its financial benefit? Is it the university's responsibility to control underage and binge drinking, or should it depend on the choices of individual students? Is alcohol the reason why current students and graduates enjoy Penn State so much?